So my name is Kyle, and this is my testimony. Growing up, I was raised in a Catholic home where we attended Mass every week. I received all my sacraments, and I even attended 2 years of Catholic high school. And yet, despite all that, I never really had a great connection to God or my faith, really. I always believed in God the Father, but I even doubted the true identity of Jesus Christ. And to be honest, I really don't remember much discussion about him in my household growing up. I guess it was probably my late teens, early 20s, I really fell out of what little faith that I did actually have. I began to spiral down into the dark world of alcohol and drug addiction. And, that lifestyle and the guilt and the shame that came with it really drove a bigger wedge between myself and God. Eventually I hit bottom, and I was blessed with sobriety through a 12-step program. And even though I always attributed God and credited him for pulling me out of the fire, my relationship with him still remained rather superficial. It was more of an acquaintance, and it really remained that way for decades after that. As a result, I lived a rather secular, sinful life that was fueled by, narcissism and selfishness. And as I continued to lose my battle with anger and pride and selfishness and lust, I really started to hurt the people around me that truly mean the world to me. And this just made even more guilt and shame pile up and really drove a bigger wedge between me and God. A few years back, my wife and I felt a calling to find a new path to the Lord. And we both received a lot of signs that seemed to pull us towards FCC. So we gave it a try, and it was like nothing that either of us ever experienced in the churches that we grew up in. And it really didn't take long for us to feel like we belonged here, like we had a deep connection here. But I still felt stuck. And despite my upbringing, I'm embarrassed to admit, but I never actually read the Bible. And when I would look around at all the people whose faith I admired, I realized that they all had in common this deep personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And they all seemed to attribute being immersed in his word as the catalyst for that relationship. So I made a decision. I was finally gonna actually read the New Testament and study it. And in the process of reading the Gospels, I learned all about Jesus and how he suffered and died for all his people, not just the righteous. I came to realize that all that guilt and shame that I had in me was from me and not from him. And as a result, I was finally able to repent and ask for his forgiveness. And I felt this immense pressure taken off of me and lifted off of my shoulders. And I felt a freedom that I'd never felt before in my life. And I know that's all from my relationship that I have today with Jesus Christ. So today I wish to be baptized because, again, I can feel that calling from him that this is what he wants me to do. And he's always been so faithful to me that it's only right that I finally submit to his will. And I think this is a big part of that.